Canelo, there's a lot of articles and social media news floating around saying that you could potentially be negotiating with Terence Crawford directly for a main fight. Any truth to that?
No, I'm working in other things. Now I'm enjoying my family. I'm not talking about boxing yet. So maybe in January we're gonna start doing that.
Where do things stand with Turkey? Turkey said he would like to open a line of communication with you. No middlemen, just you and him. And
I never say no to business. So if it is a business for me, I'm open to talk, no matter what.
Anything else for Chula Vista?
No, thank you everybody from Chula Vista. Thank you for your support.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and we're gonna know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in
here.
Camp? Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March, yeah.
In a major event for the boxing world, Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford have officially agreed to face off in a super middleweight bout set for September 2025 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. This announcement has sparked huge excitement among boxing fans as it brings together two of the sport's most accomplished fighters.
I'm a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to a Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and at that point it's more of a big fight, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Revolt again. Yeah. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up.
Joel Diaz has expressed strong confidence in Canelo Álvarez's ability to take on Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's status as the pound-for-pound best, Diaz emphasized Canelo's unique skill set and overall readiness for the fight.
I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. Mm-hmm. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. Yeah. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Álvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. A lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's two more divisions. Mm-hmm. Canelo Álvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Yeah. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, right, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones.
Former world champion Demetrius Andrade believes that while Crawford is an outstanding fighter, Canelo's size and experience in higher weight classes give him a clear advantage. Andrade predicts that Crawford might struggle with Canelo's power and agility. Moving up 2 weight classes to face Álvarez is a major challenge for Crawford. In his last fight, he competed at 154 lbs, securing a hard-fought decision victory over Israel Madrimov. While Crawford showcased his skill and adaptability at that weight, jumping to the super middleweight division is an entirely different test. At 168 lbs, he will face opponents who are not only heavier, but also naturally stronger and more accustomed to fighting at that size.
A super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
10. Unlike previous fights, where Crawford's speed, precision, and technical prowess gave him an advantage, facing a physically dominant fighter like Canelo could neutralize some of those strengths. Canelo's power, durability, and experience in the division add to the challenge, forcing Crawford to adjust both his strategy and conditioning. The leap in weight class will be a defining factor in Crawford's performance against one of boxing's most formidable champions. Moving up to super middleweight to fight Canelo is a massive jump, requiring adjustments to the increased power and physicality of bigger opponents. While Crawford's technique and skill are elite, there are still questions about whether his power and durability will translate effectively to this higher division.
Ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Álvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him.
Robert Garcia has also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight, leaning toward a Canelo Álvarez victory. While he hasn't given a detailed breakdown, his prediction aligns with the majority who favor Canelo. Garcia believes that if Terence Crawford takes this fight, it will largely be for the massive payday it offers. According to Garcia, Crawford has already accomplished enough in his career to secure his legacy and financial future, meaning he doesn't necessarily need to take this risk. However, if the fight does happen, Garcia predicts that Crawford will be highly competitive in the early rounds, likely holding his own for the first 6 to 8 rounds. He acknowledges Crawford's exceptional skill, ring IQ, and strength, which could allow him to edge out the early exchanges.
What's the smart bet on Crawford Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably going to be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not going to be close.
No, it's going to be close.
3 weight class?
Maybe 3-4-1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not going to be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just...
who wins straight out?
I think it's going to be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2-1.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight, Gary Russell. What do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights at this level?
That's just
It's gonna be, finally you guys will be, the first time you're ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
We're gonna corner at Tank's fight.
It's Tank's
The Me, Alvarez versus Crawford fight is shaping up to be a historic event in boxing. Alvarez's experience and power in the super middleweight division will be put to the test against Crawford's agility, technical prowess, and undefeated record. Fans and analysts are eager to see how Crawford adapts to the higher weight class, and how Alvarez handles an opponent of Crawford's caliber.
You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd, and then it's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah, Canelo had his
our
time. Yeah.
Just gonna cement our time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What made Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Isley. Troy Isley's a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Do you think Canelo's size and power will overwhelm Crawford in the later rounds, or can Crawford's skill and strategy lead him to victory? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.